wanna be down with the king.
It's the Sports Kings.
Sports Kings. Big Mike.
He might fall off the wagon in the next 10 minutes.
And Rob Calloway.
It's about bringing talent. It's not about all the flash and glitz and glam.
Not your average sports talk show. The Sports Kings.
This is NFL legend, work done.
This your boy D. Howard, a.k.a. Superman.
I'm Jerome Bettis, the bus.
It's Cam Newton. Holla at your boy, already.
This is Hank Aaron, and I'm down with the king.
Tell a friend, Kings is back.
Yes, indeed. Back for hour number 2 of the Sports Kings podcast. I am Big Mike alongside my partner, Rob Calloway. We're being heard on Spreaker.com. That's Spreaker. You can also get in touch with us at any time during your listening of this podcast via Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook at Sports Kings Live. You can also send us an email at sportskingslive@gmail.com. As well, we're looking for people to sponsor hours or segments of the show. If you or anybody you know is interested, please send us an email to sportskingslive@gmail.com. During the last hour, we took the whole last hour of the show to talk about Dr. Joseph Maroon's comments, the comments that he made in wake of the recent retirement of 49ers linebacker, or former 49ers linebacker, Chris Borland, that he was retiring from football at the age of 24. Dr. Maroon, saying basically that CTE was horse pucky. And just to put a little bow on that whole little thing, he's the neurological doctor for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And we talked about the amount of guys that have been associated with that franchise. Quick little rundown here. Yeah, here we go. Steve Furness, gone at 49, heart attack. Tyrone McGriff, gone at 42, heart attack. Joe Gilliam, gone at 49, heart attack. Mike Webster, gone at 50, heart attack. Ron Shanklin, cancer. Fred Small, motorcycle collided with 2 other cars on the Pomona Freeway. All right. James Parrish, gone at 35 with cancer. We already talked about Justin Strzelczyk. He actually died by driving the wrong way in a high-speed chase from the cops. Miss David Little at 46, heart arrhythmia. Terry Long, gone after drinking antifreeze. Ray Oldman, gone at 54, heart attack. Steve Corson, gone at 50. Tree fell on him that he was cutting down in his yard, and the tree fell on him. All right. Dave Brown, an apparent heart attack while playing a pickup game, gone at 52. Pickup game of basketball. Jim Clark, gone at 58 after heart failure and a 4-year battle with cancer. So he had it coming from both ends. Theo Bell, gone at 52 after a year-long battle with a kidney disease known as, goodness gracious, scleroderma, Scleroderma. That may seem like something that can just fly under the radar, but it's a kidney disease. And if you've been paying attention, the other lawsuit that they're facing right now is the distribution of these painkillers and these things that guys have been given, like in bunches of loads to take before games for pain. Yeah, all that stuff affects your kidneys. So there's that angle too with that. Ernie Holmes, gone at 59, car accident again. And Dwight White, gone at 58, complications from an earlier surgery. So that is the list of all the Pittsburgh Steelers that have gone, that have passed on between the ages, like under 60. All these dudes are under 60. And if you kind of do the math, and my man has been with the team for 34 years, most of these guys played while he was there, Dr. Joseph Maroon. So if you want to, whatever correlation you want to make in that situation, go right ahead. I'm not insinuating anything. I'm just saying that the two things do meet at a certain crossroad there. But moving on from that, I got some other things we got to get into today because obviously the tournament starts tomorrow, playing games. You know what I forgot to do the other day, and it really makes no difference if I do it or not because Michigan didn't make the NIT or the field of 64. But the other day when I was talking about Fred VanVleet and the big African from UCI,
right.
I forgot to mention this other name, Muhammad Ali Abdul Rahman. I'm not making that up.
Speaking of Rahman, in the first hour, I was saying that my head swelled up like this boxer Holyfield hit. That was his name, Hasim Rahman.
See how it always comes together?
Look at your phone. Look at your phone.
I'm looking at my phone.
Can you get text while you're on your phone?
I guess somebody just hit me up on Instagram or something. Okay, there you are. Who is this on Instagram? That's the other thing, man. These chicks be like hitting me up on it. Like, this can't be happening. Oh, but the thing won't download. The picture won't download. Yeah, it's like this real weird thing that happens with, because of what I do when I'm not doing this. You're like, yeah, it's just this weird dynamic.
Porn.
No, it's not.
Filming that Asian porn.
No, it's not porn, mother effer. Anyway, yeah, dude. And my man Golf the other day, he tweeted, "There's no more. There's no other name that says don't F with me more than Muhammad Ali Abdul Rahman." We won't get to say that name during the off season because Michigan did not make either tournament, and I am so sad about that. That would be the only thing that'll make me watch an NIT game, and since that's not happening, screw the NIT again. But we got to get into this NBA stuff as well as this NCAA stuff. We got to reveal our brackets as well. So where are we going to start? Let's start with the NBA. Tom Thibodeau says Derrick Rose is quote unquote ahead of schedule. There's that term again. Let's change the schedule. Just change the schedule. Just do that. Change it. Make it sooner or whatever you got to do. But everybody can't be ahead of schedule and it still be ahead of schedule. It's like my man Alec always says: if everything is great, if everything is great, then nothing's great. Like something has to be bad to make the other thing. You have to have the contrast. Like everything just can't be great because that means nothing's great. Anyway, here's something that disturbed me after reading this too. Reporters in the locker room, and to I guess maybe to like the average person who wouldn't care about this. People in there trying to take half-naked pictures of LeBron.
Yeah, I heard about that. Yeah,
that's an issue. You know what I'm saying? Because it's one of those things that, especially when you're in a position that Rob and I are in. We're dealing with this thing. We're trying to start this thing up on our own and develop some credibility within what we do. And for people to do something like that, if you don't know what I'm talking about, I think it was like a Deadspin article. But for the second night, someone was in the locker room trying to take pictures of LeBron with his towel on or whatever. And I preface what I was saying by saying most people probably wouldn't care, but it's a big deal because when I was with 92.9, we went down and toured the Braves stuff and all that stuff. They took it to the locker room, and one of the first things they said was that no, you can have your phone out to like record audio, but there are no pictures in this place. It's like a sacred thing. And for the second time, like the first time, LeBron caught the dude out the corner of his eye and said something like, "Man, that ain't cool." And the dude tried to lie it off or whatever. And then the second night, two people tried to do it, and then they got caught and got escorted out. And see, the problem with that becomes, for me, and this is me speaking selfishly, it's like for what we're doing and we're trying to build, we got to get ourselves in a situation where we're able to get those type of credentials to do those kind of things, to go get our own audio and go get our own interviews and things like that. But if people are if these hacks, that the people who just feel like, well, I've got a microphone and a computer and now I have a show, are doing foolishness like that, it's going to make it harder for people like me and Rob. Like that's my immediate reaction when I read that. Like, this is bull.
No, look, you saying that, it just made me think about something. Back last May, when we were getting ready for the for Mayweather-McDonald, the first fight, and we were in Vegas. Me and Big Tigger were in Vegas together, and there was a lot going on with Floyd at the time. There was a lot of stuff going on with his girlfriend, and he was just in the news for a whole bunch of different stuff. The 50 Cent thing, it was just a lot. But everybody that was in Vegas they were all trying to get this interview with Floyd. Everybody wanted to get an interview with Floyd. And the only person that he let come to his house to interview him one-on-one was Big Tigger. And the next day, it was all this big grumbling. Like when we went in the workroom, everybody was like, "Oh, I can't believe this, yada, 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 yada." But then Floyd released a statement and said that the reason that he did the interview with Tigger is because Tigger had built up credibility with him, and that, you know, he wasn't one of these people out here just trying to get a scoop, you know, and then the next thing you know, he turned around and he writing something slanderous about it. So, you know, it just made me think about that, because that, I mean, you know, that works on so many levels.
Yeah,
it
just matters, man.
Doing right by guys like that.
Yeah, do the gig, man. Just just do that, man. Do the gig and let the other stuff. Like, what you think your point is, man? If you got a half naked picture of LeBron, you know what I mean? Like, okay, you'll get your 15 seconds off that from TMZ or whatever you decide to do with it. But then what? Like, where you think you're gonna go with that? You think you're gonna go with?
But does TMZ can buy something like that? Like, I don't even think you can buy. Like, basketball players already play with. I mean, basically PJs on anyway, dude.
I mean, you never know. There's somebody. We just talked about it earlier. There's a market for everything. You know, like you'll find an outlet. You'll put it on your website or whatever you do with it. But then what?
Naked burn pigs.
Yeah, like what's the next deal for you? It's like, I don't know. It's one of those things that just kind of. And then for him, man, and then like people wonder about stuff. Like people wonder why like Marshawn Lynch act the way he does. Like people think like this dude is just being an a-hole for the sake of being a-hole. No, it's the same thing. That dude feels like he's been betrayed by the people who were sent to cover the sport, but they want to do other things that he didn't agree with. Whether it been right or wrong, he didn't agree with them. So now he don't got nothing to say to you. So what? And you know what I thought about that? I actually thought about that earlier today too. I was because of this morning, what I texted you about this morning. This morning I got up and I was watching Colin and I heard him talking about the same stuff I was talking about yesterday. In the same way, using the same exact words I was using from yesterday about Maurice Clarett, saying that, you know, he's a very thoughtful dude. He's been through all this kind of stuff, but, you know, surprisingly, he's very, very thoughtful, a very thoughtful guy. Saying those things verbatim. And he was saying that he was on with Schlereth and whoever Schlereth is on with. Now, they have, I guess, somebody different on in the evening, I guess, with him all the time now. Or maybe there's a new show. I don't know, because I don't listen to ESPN at this time because I'm doing this right now. But I didn't anyway. So anyway, I guess Mark Schlereth had a show in the evening again. I remember when it was him and Mike Hill and Schlereth, but I thought they just deaded that whole thing. But whatever. My point is this: Mark Schlereth was he was an offensive lineman for the Denver Broncos. And I don't know how many people remember this, but they had a pact amongst that group that they wouldn't speak to the media. They didn't do interviews or any of that stuff. Imagine how it wasn't a big deal then. Now you got this black dude with dreads and gold teeth, and for some reason everybody's like extra interested. Once again, it's the scenario where the people in the story, the authors of the story don't look like the people in it, so their perspective is different. Like you think it's some sort of gallant thing when these linemen are just like, no, we're just going to be solid and do our job. But when Marshawn Lynch said, "I'm about that action, boss," it's the same thing. If you want to translate it, it's the same thing. They're saying the same thing 15 years ago, whenever it was, that he's saying right now. I'm going to do my gig, and that's going to be it. You don't need to hear nothing from me. Watch the game. Now, Mark Schlereth is one of the biggest talents on that station, on ESPN. Go figure. But these are the things that nobody wants to bring up. Like, you're not going to hear nobody mention that on ESPN. They're just going to talk about how Marshawn Lynch is this and that, and you know there's nothing interesting about him. Why do you want to talk to him anyway? There ain't nothing interesting about that, man. You want to see something interesting about Marshawn Lynch? Just put his name in YouTube. That dude is a nut. See him walking around Oakland. Yeah, that dude is entertaining as hell. That dude has done stuff on one of my favorite shows. I say it's my favorite show. Now I can't remember the name of it. It's that fantasy football show that comes on FXX. It's freaking hilarious. And now I can't think of the name of it. But it's about fantasy football, and these dudes are in this league. Just seems like they're in a league for life or whatever.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
It's freaking hilarious. Yeah. And Marshawn Lynch has been on that show, you know, acting and stuff. But, you know, you don't hear about that. All you hear about it, why does Marshawn want to talk to us? Why is he just saying he's doing it so he won't get fined? Well, you didn't say that about the entire offensive line, too. We ain't talking about one person. We're talking about a group of people who, by the way, let's not forget